Rickroll us. That was a good one. Something was weird with the transition. Did you see that, guys? It blinked over earlier than it should have. One sec. Okay, it was just lagging out. I wanted to make sure like the settings didn't get changed or something. But how's it going? Good to see ya. Welcome to the stream. I have some hot dogs to eat, as is traditional. We have melted provolone cheese and black pepper, and then ketchup to finish it off. We are going to be watching some videos today, and then grinding a little more classic WoW. I've been doing a lot of back end work. I've got like 4 different projects I'm working on, plus this post-it note that keeps getting longer, and I haven't crossed anything off of it yet. I was working on some stuff on it today, and I just haven't been able to figure it out. Maybe I just need to skip number one. Number one is getting my Stream Deck Mini to work, and it still doesn't. So maybe I'll ask the AI for help tomorrow, see if I can figure out the issue I'm having. If not, I'll just move on to number 2 and see if I can cross the rest of this list off, because it's now an entire post-it note and I'm out of space to write new things on it. So that means I need a new post-it note, which I should really clean this post-it note off before I go to the new post-it note. But we're gonna eat some food real quick. We're gonna watch some videos. There's something new that just came up that I noticed as I was starting stream. That's the second video we'll watch. But the first video I want to watch is what's up with my fucking transitions? That's not the video. This is the video. This channel is biased, my confession. First of all, everyone is biased. I do want to say that. No matter how unbiased anyone tries to present themselves, they're absolutely biased. If they tell you they're not biased, they're lying, and you shouldn't trust them at all. Everyone has bias. Many people go to great lengths to eliminate the bias in their decision-making process or the way they present information. That's what I do here in all of my channels, but it's just inherent to us, right? We're gonna have bias inherent based off of our life experiences primarily, or the way we were raised, which is arguably a collective life experience. So he's absolutely biased. Now, he's definitely kind of left-leaning. I have another lawyer that I watch who's definitely more right-leaning. I think I saw a video for him on the side. Yeah, right here. Nate the lawyer is more of a right-leaning lawyer. So I love when they make a video on the same topic and I can compare the videos. This one, I don't think there's going to be a Nate the lawyer video, because like this isn't an active case or anything. This is just addressing some statements, I believe. And my guess, based off of what we're seeing lately, is that people are going to be mad that he's going in about the constitutional crisis that Donald Trump is creating. He's been doing a lot of videos on it. I'll watch them in the morning when I'm drinking my coffee or something. And I went off on one of my own streams about the whole constitutional crisis that Donald Trump is creating. So I absolutely agree with him on that respect, even though I'm far more centered than he is. So I do want to hear what he says about this, because even though he's left, I don't see him as super left. You know, he's left leaning, but I want to hear this video, and I figured it would be it's short, so it'll be a good discussion video for the stream probably. Let's see.
This channel is biased. It's true. Legal Eagle is completely
Literally
biased.
every
But
single
maybe
channel
not
is
in the way that
biased.
you think. Legal Eagle isn't about Republicans or Democrats, liberals or conservatives. With few exceptions, Legal Eagle espouses no policy preferences. As a channel, We are agnostic about high taxes or low taxes, huge welfare state or no social safety net, open borders or zero immigration. First and foremost, we're lawyers. We care about good lawyering versus bad lawyering. And we're often asked to advocate to the best of our abilities, specifically about issues that we might disagree with. And our status as lawyers doesn't necessarily mandate that we feel any particular way about any of those policies.
I was feeling like he was going too far left for a while, but I regained my faith in the Legal Eagle channel when they called out Biden for pardoning his son and all of his other ridiculous pardons. And I was like, okay, he's definitely left leaning, but he's a lawyer that I can respect because he still adheres to the law. Even if he might disagree with me politically on some things, he still absolutely does his best to be a zealous advocate, which is a requirement of being a good lawyer.
Reasonable minds can and do differ. When it comes to policy preferences, we lawyers can't tell you the answer. I mean, we can. Individually, we have very strong feelings about all of those things, but we don't think that this channel is the right place or the right avenue to espouse our opinions on those topics. But, and this is key, Legal Eagle doesn't pick sides based on party affiliation. We pick sides based on legal principles and reality. And yes, that means sometimes one side looks worse than the other, not because of partisan bias, but because...
I need to go get a paper towel. I'm down to one roll of paper towels and it's upstairs. Do I move it down here? No, I'm just going to bring some down. I need to get paper towels. I feel dumb as hell because I was at the grocery store today. Went to Aldi's today to get some more stuff. I realized I was out of pepper. So I got pepper and a bunch of random other things. And I didn't think to get paper towels. But it is what it is.
Because we think some people are just wrong based on the law. But we admit it. We are biased. The way we think about it is this. We are nonpartisan, but we're not apolitical. The law is the end result of politics, and it's impossible to talk about the law without talking politics. So we think it's important, especially now, to lay it all on the line. What do we stand for? Well, we stand for the rule of law. At the core of everything that we do here is the rule of law. That means that the law applies to everyone equally, whether you're the average Joe or the President of the United States. The law doesn't, or at least shouldn't, care if you're a Democrat or Republican or the last surviving Whig Party member. When someone breaks the law or tries to twist it into an unrecognizable mess, we'll call it out. If a politician or government official gets caught abusing power, evading legal consequences, or outright ignoring the law, we're going to cover it.
There's the video. Maybe not that exact one, but no, that is the exactly one. Yeah, the Hunter Biden pardon is an abuse of power. That's the one that brought me back into the fold. I was like, okay. I regained my respect for Legal Eagle.
Evading legal consequences or outright ignoring the law, we're going to cover it. And if that offends your partisan sensibilities, well, that's a you problem. We stand for access to justice and judicial independence. We believe in access to justice, the idea that the law shouldn't only work for the rich and powerful. If a system is stacked against everyday people, or if the courts are being manipulated for political purposes, that's a huge problem. We think judges should be neutral arbiters of the law, not political operatives handpicked to rubber stamp an agenda. And if a judge starts acting like a political hack, we're going to talk about that too. We stand for legal education and ethics. This channel at its core is about legal education, helping people understand their rights, how the legal system works, and why bad legal arguments deserve to be obliterated. That means debunking misinformation, breaking down landmark cases, and of course, absolutely roasting.
I will say they're definitely quicker to call out the right-leaning judges than they are the left-leaning judges, though. But the fact that they called out the Hunter Biden stuff when lots of other people were trying to hold water for that. That made me really happy to see that they really do abide by the idea of the rule of law.
Roasting terrible legal takes. We also stand firmly for human rights and civil liberties. That includes issues like due process, free speech, and personal freedoms. We believe in freedom of speech in the First Amendment.
Roast, steal. Who's Steal with it? STEAL. Is that like the band Seal, but with a T? How's it going, D-Day? The judge of his YouTube channel? Oh. I know this guy is Devin Stone, I think is his name. And then they do lots of Liz Dye, and there's one other guy. Do you mean roast as in like talk shit on? Excuse me. Well, that's not gonna get what I wanted. That's his name. We're just getting a bunch of things about people stealing shit. That's gotta be a frustrating last name to have. Always tall shit. What the fuck does that even mean, D-Day?
Government suppression of speech, not from consequences, criticism, or getting dunked on for a really dumb take. But we also really, really believe the government has no business regulating or punishing speech or belief. And what we stand for also dictates what we stand against. We stand against political corruption and abuse of power. This should be obvious, but corruption is bad. When politicians use their positions for personal gain, break the law with impunity, or turn government institutions into their personal enforcers, that's a problem. Whether it's Bob Menendez or Donald Trump, we're going to call it out regardless. Now, we can have a philosophical debate about what qualifies as the law. Spoiler, it's not just the words that are codified into statutes or cases, but it includes norms and mores, and when those are validated, we'll call that out too. As members of the legal system, we absolutely despise weaponizing that system, whether it's through frivolous lawsuits, politically motivated prosecutions, or bad faith legal arguments designed to obstruct justice. When people
Did you see Rossman Repair? Yeah, that's awesome. Talking on my phone, autocorrect? Sure. You're just drunk typing and we know it. I'm kidding, bro. Always talking shit on is what it's supposed to be. Oh. So someone is always talking shit on this YouTube channel, is what you're saying? I mean, I don't know when you got here earlier, but there's two. I like this channel a lot. There's two channels that I watch. It's this one and Nate the Lawyer. This is a left-leaning lawyer. Nate is a right-leaning lawyer, and I feel like through both of them, I get pretty balanced perspectives on most legal issues. But yeah, I saw the Rossman Repair stuff with BWE. Amazing. Louis Rossman is one of my all-time favorite channels. I love everything he does, pretty much. Drunk with power and rage, it would be me that is talking shit on you, I'm sure. I watch this one a lot too. Yeah, dude, Rossman, like Louis Rossman is, I love his shit. There was a while where he was drinking too much coffee, and because he said one episode that he was talking really fast because he had a cup of coffee, and then like for the next 3 episodes he was going at Phil DeFranco speed. I was like, bro, like chill out on whatever the fuck it is. I think he was just particularly like tight wound for a while. But no, taking down the BWE stuff is awesome. I'm super happy about that.
Try to use the courts as a bludgeon rather than a shield. We think that's an abuse of the legal process, and we stand against it. We stand against lying, ignorance, stupidity, and cringe. Look, we love a good legal
But
argument,
I'm cringe.
but what we don't love is lying, ignorance, and stupidity. And there's a big difference between arguing in good faith and just spewing nonsense. We enjoy a hearty debate, but if you're going to debate or argue, do it on the merits. We also think we need to bring back a little shame and a little self-respect. But unfortunately, standing up for the rule of law is not evenly distributed. We believe that
Oh yeah, I see that right there. Some ordinary gamer. 38 minutes ago. Or at least 38 minutes ago when I opened this tab.
all of these things are nonpartisan, and if they are partisan, then your party sucks. But to say that both sides do it is as true as it is irrelevant. These ideals are not, at the moment, equally shared. So let's address the elephant in the room. People love to accuse this channel of being biased or anti-Republican because we've been highly critical of Donald Trump. So let me be as clear as possible. We don't dislike Donald Trump because he's a Republican.
I don't think people realize that Donald Trump isn't even really a Republican. Lots of hardline Republicans don't like him. They just have to follow his lead because he's currently the head of the Republican Party.
We hate President Donald Trump because he is actively dismantling the rule of law. And to the extent the MAGA movement, such as it is against the ideals that we've just described, we are against that movement as well. At the moment, there is a reckoning among commentators who now see the authoritarian and outright fascist tendencies of the current president. They meekly defend themselves by rhetorically wondering, who could have seen it coming? Well, we did. We saw it coming. We saw it in his first term, we saw it before he ran for president, and we definitely saw it in the 4 years after he was voted out of office. Unfortunately, we lawyers were Cassandras. If you know what the law is, it's not hard to see when people aren't following it. And unfortunately right now, many people are gleefully casting the law aside because it's politically expedient. But that is the ultimate in short-term thinking.
Which terrifies me. And it's not necessarily because of Donald Trump. Do I think this could cause serious negative effects within his term? Yes, absolutely. But I'm more worried about what's going to happen with the next president. Because the way people act these days, they use someone else's bad behavior to justify their own bad behavior. And every president has been exhibiting more bad behavior than the previous president recently. So, and it all started with Obama. He started this downhill slide, and it's going to be very interesting to see who the next president is and what they do with all this extra presidential power that Trump has been grabbing, because they never let go.
The signs were there.
All these executive orders that Trump is doing that people are mad about right now, you know who started that? Obama.
Broad daylight. Need I remind you that Donald Trump is a felon? Just because he wasn't punished doesn't mean he isn't a criminal. He is an adjudicated criminal and felon for financial crimes, but had the Supreme Court not interfered, he would almost certainly be a felon for state crimes, pressuring state officials to find votes, election crimes, trying to overturn a free and fair election through, among other things, the fake elector scheme, obstruction crimes, obstruction of justice and lying, and national security crimes, stealing classified documents, hiding them, and lying about it. But on top of that, he was found civilly liable for defamation related to his sexual assault of E. Jean Carroll, defrauding the state of New York, and running fraudulent charities. And that doesn't even get into his bankruptcies or other settlements. Donald Trump...
No, he didn't. What do you mean? He absolutely did. The whole reason that executive orders have so much power is because Obama started firing them off and expanding what they could do. Obama did nothing. He was No, the lamest duck was Biden. Biden kind of did nothing. Uh, Biden and Taft have been the historical do-nothing presidents. Obama fucked all kind of shit up. Obama's the reason why you can't get used cars for $500 anymore. They'd be like $1,000 now with inflation, but now used cars are $10,000, 5,000 if you're very lucky and you get a falling apart beater. Obama's the reason why insulin is $500. Like, what else? I'm trying to think right now. Well, doesn't matter. Obama fucked all kinds of shit up. To say he was a lame duck is totally false.
Trump has been indicted 4 separate times on 91 felony charges. That's a record, and not the good kind. And on top of that, he was impeached twice. Once for withholding hundreds of millions of dollars of U.S. aid to Ukraine in an attempt to solicit a bribe in the form of fabricating dirt on his political rival, Joe Biden, and once for inciting the insurrection that led to the riot that infiltrated the U.S. Capitol and sought to prevent the certification of the Democratic election. Now, we can debate whether those things are crimes, but there is no doubt that they are or should be politically disqualifying. And now, in his second term, Trump has sought to avoid the constitutional order entirely to, among other things, illegally impound billions of dollars of congressional funds.
Most of that was wrong, but things he did do. That sounds like you didn't finish the sentence.
Weaponize the justice system, illegally pull criminal prosecutions as political favors, illegally shut down federal agencies, illegally deport people with zero due process, illegally punish
Super PAC. Oh, he super PACs too. Yeah, that wasn't really him. Super PACs was the court. The court did that. It might have happened under his watch. What year was Citizens United? 2010. So yeah, it happened while he was in office, but that was the Supreme Court decision. He didn't really have anything to do with that.
First Amendment protected speech and assembly, illegally punish lawyers and law firms he doesn't like, illegally remove security clearances as political punishment, illegally arrest judges he doesn't like, illegally dole out political benefits to his friends and family members, illegally solicit bribes through operating his businesses and crypto schemes. Second term, same
The
as
crypto
first.
thing is fucking
Rest assured,
ridiculous.
If tomorrow a Democratic president came along and did half the things that Trump has done, we would roast them just as hard. This is not about party. It's about whether the law still means anything. This isn't just bad politics, it's Banana Republic tin pot dictator nonsense. If any other president had done any single one of these things, they would be a legal footnote next to Richard Nixon. And when a Democrat or a libertarian or a communist or a Green Party member engages in manifest illegality or norm breaking, we cover that too, as we did with Eric Adams, Bob Menendez, and when Joe Biden pardoned his son. We don't criticize President Trump because we hate Republicans. We criticize Trump because he is actively trying to dismantle democracy, corrupt the legal system, and place himself above the law. That is a problem no matter what your party is. And look, if you think that this is bias, then let me make a deal with you. The moment a Democrat tries to overturn an election...
Also, something about companies having rights. Yeah, that was Citizens United. It's basically the same thing. So what happened is Citizens United versus the FEC, the Federal Election Committee, I believe. It was a Supreme Court ruling passed down that decided that effectively gross oversimplification, because corporations are made out of people, and people have rights. Corporations have rights too, and so therefore, since it's the right of the people to donate money to an election campaign, corporations also have the right of the people to donate money to an election campaign. And that was one of the things that basically allowed the creation of super PACs. And I think there was a second ruling that said, well, there's limits, right? So I think the limit is only $5,000 can be donated to a campaign directly. But the thing that super PACs themselves do is they, independent of the campaign, buy raise money. Excuse me. Raise money and buy advertisements for a candidate without officially being part of the campaign, so they don't have the same spending limits. It's really fucked up. But basically, like, they made it even easier to buy elections.
Hoard classified documents, solicit bribes, or pressure the DOJ to arrest political enemies, we'll make an entire video roasting them too. Because this isn't about partisanship, it's about the rule of law. As I've said before, I hear the comments from those of you who wish the channel didn't focus so much on Trump. I hear you, and I agree with you.
Yeah,
I wish I
I'm
didn't have
sure
to think about
he
it
wished
at all,
he didn't have
let
to
alone
focus on
continually
Trump
research
either.
and analyze completely unprecedented and authoritarian legal moves every single day. But unfortunately, when it comes to understanding the law, media literacy, whether we're talking about traditional media or Joe Bob's freewheeling independent podcast for free thinkers, TM, is abysmal. And we will continue to tirelessly explain both the legal and illegal moves of this increasingly dictatorial president. And we will continue to work to broaden our scope to make sure we don't leave out other legal stories and get back to the fun law splainers and reactions. So is Legal Eagle biased? You're damn right we are. We care deeply about the rule of law and we're not going to hide it. Being objective doesn't mean both sidesing things. We can't do a story about a Democrat doing something illegal every time Trump does something illegal because there just aren't enough Democrats. The law breaking isn't evenly distributed, and we're not going to tell you a fairy tale that they are. And if that bothers you, maybe it's time to start demanding better from your politicians. Maybe you should be biased too. Thank you for listening.
I don't know about that. I think the law breaking is absolutely evenly distributed. It's just no one on the Democratic side is doing it as egregiously as Trump is right now. Let me confirm. I don't really pay attention to a lot of this stuff. Is she? Yeah, so she's a Democrat. This woman is the guru of insider trading, which is absolutely illegal. You're not supposed to be able to do that at all, but it's to the level where people that are giving people stock advice tell people to just watch Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio and make all the moves she makes.
Listening to this op-ed. Admittedly, this video contained more opinion than most of our normal videos. If you'd like to support the mission of this channel to demystify the legal miasma that we live in, one way to do so is by signing up for our homegrown streaming platform and sponsor Nebula.
Let's
On
talk
Nebula,
about
you can
Joe
watch all of
Bob's
our
Free
videos
Thinkers,
ad-free,
right?
Because our videos always go up on Nebula first. This channel has been increasingly demonetized this year on YouTube. For example, our recent video about how the government cannot legally deport citizens was demonetized on YouTube because it showed a single still image of the World Trade Center on 9/11. It was a mistake and it was eventually taken care of, but we lost a huge amount of revenue because of YouTube's mistake. And people often ask if it helps
YouTube
get
is
more to
cooked.
watch on YouTube or Nebula, and the answer is emphatically Nebula. The watch time payouts are bigger, and since my creator friends and I created Nebula ourselves, we don't worry about capricious demonetization standards. Which is why we put tons of exclusive content on Nebula.
But Nebula's dumb
because
because you need to pay a subscription to even access it. Fuck your paywalled liberal propaganda website. Now, to be fair, there's a paywalled conservative propaganda website too called Pepperbox, but they're both bad. Fuck both of those websites. All right, let's go. I want to see this. I'm probably being clickbaited, but I heard Hassan got stopped at the airport and questioned, but there's no way he actually went to jail, right? I'm sure I'm being clickbaited right here.
Wait. This just came out 2 hours ago? Asmongold just ended Hassan?
Oh, I saw this. I didn't click on it, though. I thought it was the same thing. It's right there. Let's watch the actual video, not Tecto watching the video. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? share. Guys, please give a like. And if you aren't following already, please follow Legal Eagle. Absolutely great source for getting legal information. But like I said, definitely a little left leaning. So make sure you follow a source for right leaning legal information as well. He did no jail. YouTube is kind of fucky. YouTube's super fucky. I am going to be making my own version of YouTube within the next 5 years or so, I think. It all depends on when I have the money. It's gonna start just me uploading all my videos there too, so I can have uploaded uncensored uploads, and then I'll just tell people if they want to see the full unedited uncensored version to go to my website, and then I'll like handpick some creators to join, and then eventually we'll open it to everyone. Nook Snore also talks about it. Yeah, but one, that's a VTuber, right? I'm pretty sure. And I can't watch the fucking VTube avatars. They freak me out. It's just like Uncanny Valley type stuff where I can't do it. I'm a very visual person. So when the avatars are moving in an unnatural way, I'm just like, nah, fuck that shit. But two, that guy's also a creep from what I understand. So I don't want nothing to do with that channel, even if he's not a VTuber. To be honest, it costs a lot of money. Oh, it's super, super expensive. It's even more expensive to stream. So, because bandwidth is insanely expensive. So, that's why we're starting off with just me. And then as that'll be like the technical alpha, essentially, where I'll make sure the website works by hosting my videos on it, because then I'm not fucking up anyone else's shit. I'll be the guinea pig. And then once it does work, we'll open it up for the beta, which is where we'll start inviting select creators in to upload. And then the full release, it'll be YouTube-like where anyone can upload. But I have plans in place to potentially mitigate the cost. So one of my ideas is that uploading will be free if you host it on your own PC. But that means you'll need to leave your PC online connected to the internet, and you won't be able to delete the videos. Or you could buy your own server or something like that. And then other than that, we'll have the ability for people to rent space for their uploads. Because I want to find a way to make a video hosting website that doesn't require insane ad monetization. I want to find a new profitable model that's not super reliant on ads, because people are super sick of ads to the point where most people run ad blockers, or I feel like most relatively tech savvy or knowledgeable people run ad blockers, let's put it that way. And I just feel like ads aren't, eventually ads are going to reach a spot where they're not profitable. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just have too much hope for humanity and people are way dumber and more easily influenced than I'd like to think. But I feel like if I can present a platform that isn't infested with ads and just has less intrusive, more subtle ads, it's still going to have ads, I'm sure. But if I can present a platform that's less intrusive than YouTube or Twitch with the ads, I feel like that'll be a big reason to convince the viewers to move over, right? Because convincing the creators to move over will be comparatively easy to convincing the viewers to move over. The biggest downside of that is without the viewers moving over, some creators won't want to move over, right? And they won't go through the effort of trying to move their own viewers over. They'll only want to move over once the viewers have moved over. The big problem, though, is getting the viewers to move over, because most people are relatively dumb and are creatures of habit. So it's like, it doesn't matter if it's actually better. They're not going to switch just because they've been using YouTube for so long. So it's going to be weird. It's like de-seeding YouTube would be very, very difficult. It's going to take years of planning. That's why I'm thinking like it's probably going to... I've been planning already for like 3 years, but I haven't really been working on it. It's going to take probably 5 years, 3 years minimum of actually working on it to bring it to fruition. And I don't expect to start working on it for like 2 years. I've got other things I need to work on first. It is yeah. Not sure he's a creep, but 100% does not like poker. Piker. He says he's Jewish. Let's be honest. What would replace ads? So subscriptions, and so the thing is, I don't want it. I don't think people realize, like, in 2024, YouTube generated approximately 36 billion in ad revenue. Now, I'm not saying that's not profit. How much does YouTube profit? Is that the number? There we go. What is YouTube's actual gross profit? Looks like a guarded secret. But here's the thing. So they don't tell us what they make, which is weird because they're a publicly traded company. They have to tell us their, maybe it's not profitable. I'm sure the IRS would like to know too. So here's the thing. How much does YouTube cost to run? Let's see if we can figure that out. $3 billion. Okay. So just going off those ballparks, if YouTube costs $3 billion to run and it has a revenue of $36 billion, that means it's making approximately $33 billion in profit. I don't need $33 billion in profit. I really just want the website to break even. That's why I don't need 1,000 ads, you know? YouTube keeps fucking up. That's why I stopped with my YouTube. Volcano, green lava, orange. Yeah. So that's why I don't need 1,000 fucking ads, because I'm not a publicly traded company that only cares about making money. What I care about is giving people a place to have a voice and to get good quality information. I'd also do a lot to like get rid of the scams that are in the advertisements, because a lot of those YouTube ads are literally just scams that get through their piss poor moderation. It's absolutely insane that like you can't talk about, like, if you say even the most questionable thing on your YouTube, you get a strike, or you get your channel taken down or demonetized at the very least. Yet meanwhile, they're monetizing actual scams through their YouTube's ads. It's so fucking backwards. They spend too much time and money moderating the wrong bullshit.
This will go down as the most hilarious self-inflicted meltdown of all time, as what started as just a bad debate performance.
You f***ing moron! You piece of shit!
What?
Because Iraq and the Pan-Arabic
They
nationalist
left.
movements. Iraqis,
Dude, you screaming and
cannot point
grandstanding
the
doesn't mean you're
Iraqis or
right.
Iraqi
This is
government.
pathetic.
Spiraled into potential jail time.
I might literally be going to jail.
I was gonna say something really, really edgy, but I'm gonna moderate myself slightly. Hassan is what happens. Hassan is the poster boy of infantile, juvenile idiots that never grow up. Let me put it that way. Scams are all over the place on YouTube. They're so bad. It's terrible.
Now, although his streaming platform Twitch can protect him by apparently blocking all attempts.
So, CoffeeZilla gets crypto scam ads on his channel because it's a crypto topic. And he did like a whole video about how, like, hey, I don't have any control over what YouTube shows. That's one of the other things I want to do, is I want to allow creators. So I feel like one of the big reasons why we keep seeing these ad apocalypses is because there's not enough control over which ads show on what channel on both sides. So the reason the apocalypses happen is because someone like Hassan comes out supporting terrorism. So all of the advertisers pull out because they don't want their ads showing on a channel that's supporting terrorism. Or the YouTube apocalypse, I think it was because PewDiePie wore a Nazi uniform on one of his videos or something like that. So all the advertisers pulled out because they didn't want to be associated with the Third Reich. So it's that type of stuff. So I want to give both sides more control on which ads play where. Piker is fucking rich. Oh, yeah, he's massively rich. And so that's one of the reasons that causes it. Most of these infantile man babies were born with a silver spoon in their mouth and never had to do anything in their entire lives except for whine and complain and get more rich.
To report his violations. They can't
Okay,
protect him.
let's
Be going to jail.
On their hands.
Now, although his streaming platform Twitch can protect him by apparently blocking all attempts to report his violations, they can't protect him from customs and border protection, as they stopped him when re-entering the country.
They're asking me about Trump.
Yeah, I did hear about that. But is there something new?
Is it a terrorist group or a resistance group? Like, he just kept asking over and over again. Depending on how I answer those questions, like, I'm f***ing going to jail. Because he left, went away for like 35 minutes, came back, and then he asked like actionable items. But a lot of the that
Like, we already know Hassan is a liar,
Hamas is a terrorist group.
but right here.
Twitch can protect him
He says it. He admits he's a liar, just very subtly.
They can't protect him from customs and
Trump, they're
protection.
me about like Hamas, and do you think Hamas is a terror group or a resistance group? Like, he just kept asking over and over again. Depending on how I answer those questions, like, I'm going to jail.
Right? So he's saying the very sentiment that he puts in his videos, that he's saying that he's supporting Hamas, he didn't do in the face of the law when actually pressed on it. He just admitted that he's a fucking liar that says this shit for clout and money on the internet.
Because he left.
It wasn't PewDiePie. I think it was more than that. Let me see. All right. Let's ask Grok. What? I'm typing like D-Day. What caused the YouTube ad? How do you spell adpocalypse? Close enough. The YouTube apocalypse was a series of events starting in 2017 where advertisers pulled their PewDiePie controversy right at the top of the list. It absolutely was PewDiePie. Posted videos containing anti-Semitic jokes, which gained attention from outlets, The Wall Street Journal. This led to Disney and Maker Studios cutting ties with him, and advertisers began questioning ad placements on YouTube. While Kjellberg was a catalyst, broader issues with ad placements were already brewing. Ads on offensive content. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of random stuff that was happening. Videos promoting terrorism or racism. Algorithmic demonetization. Yeah. So the primary trigger of it was PewDiePie. You should know better, D-Day. I'm always right. I'm never wrong. Kidding, of course. But
And then he asked, like,
you should know better by now.
a lot of the that like the Ethan Kleins of the world have like cried about over and over again were unironically brought up in that f***ing conversation. The very fact that that was like a point of contention that could have f***ing gotten me arrested is insane. And I genuinely in that moment was thinking like, these f***ing dumb
Yeah. So that's how it always happens. Someone goes too far and then they start looking closer. For example, this case, it's this idiot, but he's not the only one. Everyone in his orbit is just as fucking evil. You have Denims, you have Frogan, you have the Mike from PA dude. All these people are insanely fucked up that say absolutely insane things on their streams that 90% of advertisers would not want to be associated with. There's been a Twitch adpocalypse recently. Like a lot of Twitch, it's bounced back in a way that YouTube never really did, because YouTube changed their entire monetization policy, whereas Twitch, they just lost advertisers for a while and then they either got new ones or the advertisers came back. I don't know if it's at the same level as it was before, because honestly I get like 5 cents a stream, I think, from ad revenue. But I've never been at a high enough level with my ads that I was able to get them that I noticed a difference. Because when I was at my height in 2019, affiliates didn't get ad revenue yet. It was only subs and bits that we got paid from at that point.
actually playing with f***ing fire.
Now it sounds like Hassan is blaming all the YouTubers that cover his content as to why the country would be concerned with his comments, conveniently ignoring it's his own words and actions that caused this. Now I'm not gonna do a deep dive into why it's believed he supports terror, as insanely, me just showing his clips could be enough to ban a channel like mine. So I just want to talk about how the once top political streamer on Twitch is basically being taken down by a guy they call The Roach King, who was a friend of the channel, spoke about the implication that he was involved in Hassan's detainment.
I take absolutely no responsibility in Hassan getting detained, but I wish I did. The fact is that he does support propaganda. Would you want the TSA and the people that are vetting the individuals coming inside of our country to do additional questioning towards people that have a record for supporting known
Also, apparently YouTube has a double standard. I can say terrorist propaganda on the live stream and it's not going to affect anything really, but if you say it, but if you upload it into a video, it's probably going to affect things. But my YouTube isn't monetized anyways, so I'm just going to upload the full unedited stream afterwards regardless. And then if I encounter monetization problems once it grows enough to be at that level, we'll edit shit afterwards. Better to beg forgiveness than ask permission, you know?
Groups, and also addresses how Hassan isn't a journalist, but a Twitch streamer.
Sometimes I do actually do journalism.
Journalism is when you tell people that they're like anime characters. I don't want to be too particularly mean, but if Hassan was as big of a journalist as he claims he would be, maybe Bernie Sanders would sit down with him for more than 15 minutes. Not trying to be mean, but you're a streamer.
I also saw Asmongold be called the unclean one. That's good. Not all companies like the Jewish, so I'm sure you can get ads regardless. That's pretty fucked up. I mean, there are people that don't like everything, you know?
Is that okay? Can we just shut the fuck up collectively?
Loud lies lose the quiet truth. That's gotta be
Like,
the tagline of this
Rumble
channel.
has advertisers. I'm sure Blue Sky has advertisers. No matter who you are, you can always find someone to put shit on your platform.
The more he's going to attack anybody laughing at him. As
But the thing is, like,
as he's
the really big companies, those $1 million contracts that it's like Coca-Cola, Nike, they want extremely sanitized stuff. So they're not going to advertise on anything that's not inoffensive to anyone, you know?
he's mad at Ethan's coverage of his crash out.
And you barely get 3.4 million views on it. What a fucking flop, dude. Oh my god. What is this? Currently sitting at
One sec. I need to send a message. All right, let me just do a real quick attack in my Star Wars role-playing game to farm some XP. And we're going to repair that droid we attacked to farm more XP, and we're good to go.
at minus 50,000. Oof. Oof.
Saying barely 3.4 million views just says you were going to criticize his view count before you saw his view count, as it basically picks up right off when he left YouTube in terms of views. And the whole losing 50,000 subscribers isn't necessarily a bad thing after a hiatus when you have over 5 million. It just shows his fundamental misunderstanding of how YouTube works. And to briefly break it down, you don't want to have subscribers that don't want to watch your videos, because whenever
sure.
someone sees you in their feed and doesn't want to watch you, it just tells the Google algorithm that this is a video that nobody likes. So
Yeah. So there's two things. It's like, one, it does that. It's like a negative for the Google algorithm. But the other thing it does is people see your channel. Like the example that Asmongold was using the other day. You have this channel right here. 359,000 subscribers. Okay, those ones are doing pretty good. But let's see recent videos. Latest videos. 2,000 views, 1.3 views, 15K views. They average about 2 to 3,000 views with a channel of 359,000 subscribers. Now let's go to this guy. Right there. I don't want to click on that video yet, but let's see. I want to go directly to his channel. This guy has 82,000 subscribers, so approximately 1/3, a little less than 1/3. And let's do the same thing. Let's look at his recent videos. 3,000, 4,000, 2,000, 3,000. He's slightly higher on average. So you have this guy who has 1/3, less than 1/3 of the subscribers, but is getting slightly more views on average. So that's like a sign of a dead channel, you know? And you don't want to get a reputation as a dead channel, because then not only does the algorithms keep fucking you over, but also you get fucked over in people's mind where people are just like, oh yeah, they fell off, and then no one wants to watch it anymore. All right, let me bring chat back up. I lost chat. Nuxnor called him that? I don't care. So allowed to be flawed. I bet you that Nuxnor either is a hypochondriac or is just as dirty as Asmongold, if not more.
Sometimes shedding subscribers can be a positive, especially when pivoting content style. But again, Hasan wasn't making fun of...
I think the gaming crash is coming, by the way. I can feel it. What do you mean specifically by the gaming crash? Extrapolate.
His own insecurities, as he's currently losing viewership to Asmongold.
YouTube 12 hours,
Yeah.
980,000 views. Yeah, Trump finally answers the big question. 992,000 views. This is just his clip channel.
He used to be the #1 political streamer on Twitch, but he's not anymore. You know who is now? This guy right there. That has to burn his sphincter so much.
No, let me show you his other channel, his YouTube channel. My honest reaction to Content Cop. About this Content Cop. He can't stop talking about me. Asmongold is officially North America's most watched streamer so far in 2025. He currently has more hours watched than Kai Cenat and iShowSpeed.
To which Asmon turned into
Get
more
owned.
content.
Let me show you his other channel.
He's saying my channel's doing really well. Yeah, thanks, man.
Future fans.
I mean, that's +2, right?
Peaceful protests got so much worse. 22 hours ago. There it is.
I think this is
My
hilarious.
favorite part about this is he's trying to make me out like I'm this awful guy. They think this is funny. Yeah, there it is. I mean, honestly, I'm glad. Because, like, you know, for a long time, you know, Hassan would bring guests over and show them terrorist propaganda.
Right.
I'm seeing just guns and shit.
I'd say this is definitely an upgrade.
And now
I'd
he's just complaining about my YouTube channel.
I'd
I actually think this is a
100%
pretty big improvement.
rather have him crashing out over Asmongold than promoting
also
terrorism.
reacts to getting 8 times the views. I find it hilarious that this angers Hassan so much, as that's just the online content game. Hassan reacts to Fox News the same way Zach reacts to you, and if you don't like what he has to say, don't watch it. And if you're jealous of his success, just use it as motivation to elevate yourself, as spreading lies about him to your audience does nothing.
India had Gandhi. It's the country of peace and harmony. Asmongold had a fairly balanced take. Dude, Asmongold would literally laugh at you being ethnically if you're Indian, okay?
I don't understand
inferior. What the are
how
you
this guy still has a
I think they're
channel.
Great people. I'd love to go to India. I think their culture is great. I wouldn't necessarily eat some of the street food there, but I have a tremendous respect for them, and I think that it's totally unfair the amount of negative sentiment and negative criticism they get here in America because of call centers over there. I think it's total bullshit. And I was one of the only people that has actively defended Indians from the, you know, zeitgeist of Indian anti.
Something kin to the crash 1983. I don't think games are necessarily going to crash. It's just that the landscape's changing. So we're going to see the AAA sphere shrink. And it's going to be like literally just GTA, Call of Duty. EA's got their sports games, so they'll stick around. Ubisoft is probably cooked. But it's going to be like 3 companies that have AAA. And there'll be a crash in that area. And then, of course, Nintendo's off in their own little area. They have their own little niche that's separate from all the other stuff. But what we're going to see is a lot more indie games and AA games, they call them. So like Helldivers 2, that was technically a AA game, I believe, where it's not a full like size AAA type thing, but it's still much more than an indie game. So we're going to see a lot more of that type of stuff. Games price be up, but game quality is getting lower, but that's not entirely true. Who has a channel? I think Asmongold is okay in my book. Yeah, I'm relatively chill with Asmongold. I dislike some of the things. He doesn't know anything about the law or the Constitution. So when he talks about some of the stuff Trump's doing, he's kind of propagating misinformation, which pisses me off a little bit. But other than that, I'm generally a fan of him. I liked him a lot more until he became like a big pro-Trumper. But I feel like part of the reason why he's a big pro-Trumper is because of Hassan and Hassan's community and people like Hassan, you know? That's how radicalization happens. Radicalization happens one of 2 ways. The first way, and the way we used to see more of, but it's happening less now, primarily because of the internet, is that people were raised or worked or just existed in relatively cloistered areas where they weren't exposed to a lot of different viewpoints. So they would just grow up their entire life being taught that black people were bad or something like that, you know, or that Indians were smelly, and they just believed it because they'd never actually met an Indian and like spent time with them to realize that it wasn't true. So that's the first way radicalization happens. It's just through indoctrination, so to speak. The other way that radicalization happens is through people with an opposing viewpoint bringing out the torches and pitchforks. And then the person that is being assaulted that way feels the need to defend themselves. And so they may start to toe the line a little bit. But then when they start defending themselves and toe the line, people that are opposed to the guys with the torches and pitchforks show up with their own torches and pitchforks, and suddenly that person that was being assaulted doesn't feel alone, and it's like brigading almost, I think what they call it, but it's kind of reverse brigading, because brigading is when a streamer sends someone into their chat into bother another streamer. But the opposite kind of has the effect here. So I believe one of the primary reasons that Asmongold has been so pro-Trump lately is because Hassan has been so anti-Asmongold and anti-Trump that it was just like, you know what? Whatever. Fuck it. Type thing. Also, Hassan is a fucking idiot, but Asmongold's kind of dumb too, right? He is very clever. He's a great businessman. He knows how to weasel his way through just about anything. But as far as his higher reasoning skills, they're nothing to really take note of. And that can be seen if you go and watch, like, he's got literal caveman brain all the time. So, Asmongold, Pink Sparkles, dresser, I think it is, he was making. This thing, this video. We were talking about this the other day. Like, just watch this.
Just get some paint and paint. Mission. Wait, is this still autofocusing?
No memes.
This is actual caveman brain shit.
Kinda weird. Okay, let me Yeah.
It's done, right?
Bob the Builder.
Did something look a little off to you?
Is it done? Wait, there's something more, isn't there? The bottom? Is it supposed to be like this? I don't think it's supposed to be like that.
What?
This part.
He put the
You put
black
it on
part
the wrong way, you dumbass.
in the wrong way. And look at his reaction. He can't even fathom it for a minute.
You fucking dumbass. Oh, how can you go so?
But here's the thing. Compared to the vast majority of modern society, he's still decently smart. He's still in the top 50% of intelligence out there. Maybe even in the top 70% of intelligence. Top 30%. Sorry, that was backwards. Maybe even in the top 30% of intelligence is out there. It's just, he's got, a very large platform. And you know what the thing he has that most people don't have? He's got common sense. Which, it's ironic that they call it common sense because it's definitely not common anymore. And there's another thing he has that a lot of people don't have is he's got self-awareness, and the ability to separate his feelings from the situation most of the time. So those three things, being slightly smarter than average, having having good sense, we'll call it, because it's not common anymore, and being able to separate his feelings and his personal beliefs from reality make him pretty damn smart by today's standards, even though his logical processing centers aren't exactly up to par. EA has no business in sticking around. I'm sure they sold the hardware, but they need to sell them $80 games. So EA has a monopoly over the sports games, pretty much. Is FIFA EA? Who makes FIFA video game? Yep, EA. It's all EA makes all those. Also, EA does Star Wars right now. I don't know if they still do, but EA's done the last several Star Wars, and they have Star Wars The Republic, Star Wars Old Republic Online, or whatever it's called. That's a big money maker for them, I'm sure.
Indian rhetoric.
Which just goes to show how, again, whether it's view counts or views towards specific people, I don't think Hassan actually has anything to stand on. He just wants to label anybody that endangers his relevance as evil people do not listen to, as even at his in-person appearance, he's still talking about Asmon.
At first, I wanted people to talk about politics because I thought like there were a lot of progressive people out there. And then Asmongold became the largest political content creator on the platform, and some people know who that is, but he's a right-wing commentator now, the biggest right-wing commentator in North America, actually. And now I'm like, maybe don't talk about politics. It's better if they.
Here's the thing. So, two things. Two big things. First of all, I wouldn't even say Asmongold is really a right-wing commentator. He just happens to be pretty right-leaning right now. And like I said earlier, I feel part of that is Hassan's fault. Because if you look historically, he's been pretty center on a lot of things. Definitely more right than I am, I'd say. But I wouldn't call him a right-wing commentator. He's no Nick Fuentes. He's no whatchamacallit. The guy that does the daily whatever the fuck it's called. Ben, I don't know his name. He's no Brett Cooper. We'll do the female version of him. He's more like a Joe Rogan type character, you know, where he's just sort of in the middle. And here's the thing. American politics are all a lie, because I don't know if these exact numbers are still true, but when I was doing poli-sci in college, it's probably different now because of the polarization and radicalization had happened. But when you take a poll of the United States politically, again, this was back in like 2011, 2012 type time, the vast majority of Americans do not agree with either the Republican or the Democratic Party. They're just so dumb and so well programmed that they vote for them anyways. Half the time they don't even know what the party ideals are. They're just told to vote that way, so they do.
They stay apolitical.
I really wonder if Hassan regrets switching from his original bro persona to this holier-than-thou leftist activist that's always one misstep away from being cannibalized by his own.
Oh,
I guess that's
the other thing I wanted to say is It's insanely ironic that despite everything that Trump is doing, which I will say is arguably insanely anti-democratic, the Democratic Party itself, when you look at the parties and not the individuals that are breaking with party lines, because as we've mentioned earlier, Trump is definitely not a hardcore Republican. He's done all kinds of things that traditional Republicans aren't really fond of, but just go with the flow because he's in charge right now. When you look at their actual party platforms, the Democratic Party is anti-democratic in that they're opposed to free speech. They're opposed to all these other things that are part of a democracy. It's just absolutely insane. And this is literally what Hassan is saying right now. He's like, you know what? Maybe we should just take free speech away from the right.
On the platform, and some people know who that is, but he's a right-wing commentator now, the biggest right-wing commentator in North America, actually. And now I'm like, maybe don't talk about politics. It's better if they stay apolitical.
I really wonder if Hassan regrets switching from his original bro persona to this holier-than-thou leftist activist that's always one misstep away from...
Like, he knows better than to come out and straight say that, but that's what he really means, right? That's what all this cancel culture is, all this manipulation of forcing woke culture into stuff is. It's an elimination of free speech. That's what censorship on YouTube is. It's an elimination of free speech.
By his own. But I guess that's why this crash out is so satisfying, as I believe he was just on cruise control with his content, constantly trying to cater to an increasingly more extreme audience he's cultivated, not understanding that just because he's Twitch's favorite streamer that gets absurd levels of preference and protection, that he wouldn't face actual consequences from how extreme his statements have become. Meanwhile, you got the Roach King
He's an idiot.
casually lapping you in your own field with zero risk of going to prison.
How is this crash out still going? I don't even think it's begun yet. I think it's only the beginning. This is
the pre-crash out.
Lose the quiet truth. So don't let him hide everything.
It's like that moment when it starts raining really hard for a sec and you like start running for cover and then it stops. So you're like, oh man, I guess that was it. It just kind of blew over, right? And then you go back, go back outside, you finish your picnic, and then there's a crack of thunder and it comes down 10 times worse. And you're just absolutely fucking drenched and you're like, man, well, I got played by the weather. I think that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing the Hassan pre-crash out.
Make sure you're subscribed with those notifications on.
There's gonna be a content nuke of Hassan's own making, except for it's going to go off in his hands. What the fuck is this? I remember that guy. He's the guy that got into the... What is that? That's got to be old. Yeah, 1.2 million views. I hate... Why does YouTube show me videos I have already seen before? And I hate that they do it here, because then I can't see that I've already watched them. It's absolute bullshit. All right. Nathan, what's up? Yeah, I haven't watched the new video yet. I generally watch those off stream because that's like my chill coffee video, you know? After I don't watch it with my first cup of coffee because I'm still waking up and I want to have my brain functioning when I watch it. But I do watch it eventually after I've woken up, and it like gets me going for the morning. I watch them before bed or when I wake up. Yeah, that's chill. Let me get some shout outs going. I forgot to do D-Day Live, even though he's watching on YouTube, not Twitch. We'll shout him out anyways. Then we got Snow Ninja. How are you doing today, Snow? Guys, please follow these content creators.
I wasn't.
D-Day is so bald you could blind an elephant if you shine a flashlight at his head. And Snow Ninja is really chill, awesome, plays a lot of the Death Note game. What's it called? Is it that? Yeah, Death Note, Killer Within, just variety game and stuff like that. I'm good. Was helping a friend level up in Schedule 1. Nice. We played for some hours. That's sick. I gotta get back to that at some point, but in my head, that game stays where it is forever. You know? It's just not going anywhere. Whereas two things are kind of relevant with WoW, which is why I'm back on the WoW grind. One is it's got the subscription, you know? So it's like wasted time when the subscription's active if I'm not playing WoW. But also, I started the whole thing of when I made my account, I was like, I'm going to get a character to 60. So I'm very much a person that when I start something, I need to complete it. I'm not always great at completing things. In fact, it's one of the things I struggle with. But because I need to complete things and sometimes I don't, that's one of the things that causes me a lot of stress in my life. I'll be like, wait a minute, I started that and I never finished it. And then I have like 30 things like that buzzing around in my head. So that's why a lot of my gaming recently has been going back and finishing old goals. So one of the first things I did when I started streaming again here, I don't know who all was here for that or if anyone remembers, but I got the Grandmaster Crafter achievement on my crafter in Elder Scrolls Online. And that was something that I started years ago and I just never finished. So WoW was a game I wanted to play when I was young, but our PC couldn't run it. And then I started playing EVE Online instead, and I got this super elitist view towards WoW. And now I just want to get a character to 60. And that's my goal right now. We played some hours. So right now, getting the character to 60 is my goal. And we're definitely going to, or just playing WoW in general to get that feeling. But that I missed out on when I was young. But that's one of the reasons primarily why we play Classic, you know, because I wanna see what I missed when I was too full of myself to give it a shot. We should just change this all here. It's better to do it here. Edit. We're switching over to WoW now, by the way, and we can do some duos if you want to play Snow, or we could, if not, I'll just work on the main character. I'm down either way, but we are doing a little bit of WoW. I haven't been playing as much because I've got so many other things I'm working on in the background. There's 4 things I'm working on right now, I think. So one is the new YouTube channel, which we haven't really started that yet. I made the channel, but I don't want to say the name or anything because I haven't claimed all the social media for it yet. I need to make all the social media tomorrow. Basically, so Snow Ninja knows. I was telling her earlier, but we'll announce it to the chat in a second. Let me just finish changing these categories. And then we'll switch over and get WoW sorted. But I am not fond of the way the Phil DeFranco show has been reporting things lately. He's always been left-leaning, to be sure, but for most of the years that I've been watching him, I felt like I could at least trust him to tell the truth, but now I don't feel like I can trust him to do that anymore because primarily of the way that he reported on the Shiloh Hendrix controversy. So I'm going to be starting my own YouTube news channel. It's going to be only once a week though. It's not going to be full-time news like him. I'm going to do a weekly summary. I'm not entirely sure what day I'm going to post it yet. I'm going to do some research. My brain tells me to have it post Saturday, which means I won't actually be posting it Saturday because I don't do work on Saturday. But I'm going to upload it Friday and then we'll have it set to release on Saturday. Although I'll do some research to see what the best day to have it drop is. But yeah, we're going to do weekly news reports. They're going to be about an hour long, I think, and it's going to be me in my slower paced discussion voice, except for it'll be more professional. You know, I'm going to have a script. I'm not going to be just going off the top like this. I'm going to do my best to make it feel like an old school news report, but with more transparency and less bias and more accuracy. So that's something I've been working on. I'm starting to do I'm preparing to make a few phone apps. And I don't want to go into those. That's just the whole thing. I still need to learn coding those languages. And I'll probably end up doing that on stream. Also, I need to learn new software that's Linux native for graphic design, because I was using Affinity Designer and Affinity Photo, but those don't work on Linux very well. Some people got them to run, some people didn't. I just need shit that works. You know, when I first installed Linux, I spent a week trying to get individual pieces of software working. I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. If I just learned a new software, I could have learned the new workflow by now. So I've used two of these before. One is GIMP and the other's Inkscape, but I don't really like the UI on either of them. The workflow is not as good as Affinity or Adobe products, but it's what we have. So I'll just learn the workflow and get better at it. And I may end up doing some of that on stream as well, because I don't want to stop streaming, but I need to keep doing this stuff. Now, right now, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing in the background are either things that I don't want to show on stream or things that wouldn't be interesting to show on stream at all. But once I get to a point where I'm actually just like learning to code or learning the workflow of GIMP or Inkscape and making some graphics that I don't mind showing online, then I'll probably stream doing some of that art. The other big thing that I'm really working on right now is music. It's been a long time since I was singing consistently because of the move, and before that, the depression, and then after the move, we had all the renovations I was doing here. So right now, my main thing is just trying to get my stamina and control back. I don't even record my practice sessions anymore because I just know they're all gonna sound terrible. They do sound terrible when I practice. It sounds so bad that I can hear how bad it is without even needing to listen to the recording back. So I still have things that I can hear that I need to fix just by doing it live, right? Once I get to a point where I need to listen to the recordings back to see what the next thing I need to fix is, then we might do more music on stream. I do want to start playing guitar again. I got to get a guitar in here. One of the things we're planning on doing for the next stream, now that I got the light up, even though the damn light doesn't stay on, it just goes off after like 5 minutes. I don't know what the point of getting the light on was if it just goes off constantly. But now that I got the light up and got that disaster cleaned up, we're going to move a bookshelf that my dad gave me over here behind in like this area right here. I kind of want to leave that box where it is because that's the cat box and the kitty will sit in there, and I want the kitty to be on cam sometimes. I guess maybe we move him all the way towards the door, but then he's kind of far away from me, and I know he doesn't want that. So the big thing he does is he likes sitting under the chair. Half the reason I brought the cat box over is because I don't want him sitting under the chair, because then I don't know he's under there, and I go to roll the chair and I roll it into him and he gets all upset. But yeah, so the other thing I want to do is start playing guitar again, and I basically got to relearn guitar from scratch at this point because it's been so long since I've played. But we're gonna do that a bit too. So I'll still probably usually end the night with a little bit of gaming, but we're not going to be doing so many gaming streams. However, we're going to be doing a lot of gaming still until I finish at least getting a character to 60, because I want to complete it, you know? I set out on a journey and I need to complete that journey. And I've got a lot of back-end work to do before I'm ready to do the other types of content anyways. So we're gonna do some WoW. If you want to get on and do our duos, let me know, Snow Ninja. In the meantime, I'm just gonna be leveling the Warlock. WoW hype, you know it. Alright. We can definitely play sometime this week. Alright. So, what were we doing? Oh, we were trying to wrap up the rest of these Barons quests so we can move into the new area. So, it looks like there's a new Barons quest. I don't remember that one being there. Oh, we got a turn-in at... I feel like there's something I should be doing or should do before I leave. Oh, we were going to go deposit at the bank was the thing, but the bank is at the other place. So let's go do that right now. Well, I ended up getting really tired last game. I was starting to pass out in my chair because I just work constantly, harder than ever these days. So I was starting to get really exhausted last night, and I was like, you know what? I gotta call it before I kill this character. Not gonna get it to 60 if I kill it by like falling asleep and walking into a group of mobs. I'm way too lazy at the moment, but I'll watch it. Yeah, that's totally chill. Don't worry about it. Just let me know whenever you're ready and we can do it. If I'm not like streaming yet and you're feeling like playing, just let me know, because I'm pretty much always just sitting here at my computer working on things. Alright, so we need to resummon our little guy. We're so over leveled for the area that we can't use our other summons right now because we need soul shards to use those summons, but you can only get soul shards from killing units that you gain XP from.
Hey, how you doing?
So we're kind of screwed in that regard. Flaring Baton. It's a ranged wand, but we already have a better wand. So we're going to take whichever one is worth more, and that's the wand, and we'll sell that. Alright. The other thing we wanted to do is turn in stuff at the bank.
What's up?
Just gonna store these things. Cooking. Yeah. We can't. Maybe we level cooking today. We will sell this wand because we got a pretty good wand. We got it as a drop, I think. I don't remember what it was from, but I was excited when I got it. Oh, that's a daily. Those are all dungeon quests. Maybe I start queuing for... No, I don't want to queue for dungeons on the main because
Hey, how you doing?
I feel like I don't want to queue for dungeons on any of the characters I have right now, because each one of them is focused on a specific profession, right? And is there a flight master down there? Okay, there is. So I guess we fly down there, because I don't see... Oh, there's a quest over here. Oh, but that's high level. That's 27. We're only 24. Yeah, we don't want to die to that. So we'll come back and do that once we're 27. Or oftentimes you can do it when you're like 1 or 2 levels below it, but I don't want to risk that right now. Now, some of them are deceptive, and you got to be like 5 levels over it before you don't die. But let's head down south, because that's where the remaining of our quests are here. That's another thing I need to do. All right, well, we're going to start the new post-it. I have this never-ending post-it note, and it's full. So we're going to start a new to-do list. Is finish merch store. I need to organize it better, because right now you open that and it's just all on one page and it's choice paralysis. So I need to make multiple pages for different types of merch. Also, I need to make better merch. I have independent merch lines that I have. I have 2 separate merch lines. One is going to be just plainly offensive stuff. The other is going to be like offensive philosophy things. I've got some good ideas for t-shirts that I've written down. I just haven't had the time to make them. So, of course, I got to learn the new 2D editing stuff before I do that anyways. It's all part of the process. Alright. Damn, it takes longer to fly to this southern place than I thought. We gotta be almost there now. Oh, we're only part of the way. Cause I guess it's in a line, so we had to fly up to there first and then down here, I think is what happened. It won't let us just go like that. And it doesn't even let us go like that. For some reason, it takes us all the way over here. It's like, let's go for a tour of the mountains. Are any of these? I think in the southern area, there might still be stuff that's close enough level for us to get soul shards from. So the way you can tell is it'll still have a green name. If it's got a gray name next to it, that means we're so over leveled that we don't get XP from it anymore. Yellow is normal. Red means that it's high for you, and it could be dangerous. Alright, what's this? This guy has a quest for us? Or this is the Ashenville quest, right? Oh, so there is... Oh. I don't think... Where's Thunderbluff? Okay, we do have stuff in this next area. But we'll take that before we go in there. Let's leave our quest open so we can no, screw it. We'll wait. We want to make sure we have space in case there's other quests here. I doubt we'll run out of space at this point, but we did run out of space earlier. So we're just taking precautions. There is a quest here on the road that we're probably going to pick up. Yeah, we're going pretty much right towards it. Now, whether or not he'll actually be here is something else. Because these quests that exist on the road... Oh, it doesn't look like he's on the road. He's past the road. But the quests that exist on the road, they're usually given by a traveling NPC. So you gotta track it down, which can be kind of annoying. But it's usually not that bad. Okay. Can we... Oh, there's level 20? We can do a level 20. Perfect. It's probably gonna kill our imp, but that's fine. Oh no, we're just gonna take all the damage to ourselves. Oh shit, I cast the wrong spell. Damn it. That's fine. I didn't mean to Shadow Bolt there. I wanted to drain soul so we can get a soul shard. Cool, it'll work on this too. And then we just drain soul. We don't really... Oh shit. Since we had aggro, it canceled drain soul before it died. Because when you are channeling a spell, if you take damage, it lowers the length of the channel. So we're gonna let our dude gain threat first. And then he should hold threat till we kill this guy. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Now we can summon the Void Walker. And he'll just hold all threat for us. Because he's got a taunt. Why do you call? I call because I need you to be my bitch. Go tank that guy, bitch. What's that? Takar the Seer. Where is Takar the Seer? I don't see Takara the Seer. Oh, I see him. He's there on the quest. He's 45? Why is he level 45? How am I supposed to get that quest if the dude's level 45? Why is there a level 45 NPC in this area? We're gonna kill this last storm snout, and then we're gonna take a look at that guy. If he's 45, he might just one-shot me. It just has a bunch of question marks, and it says average victim level 27, which means people up to level 30 die from him. Gonna see if I can pick up the quest. This is such a terrible idea, but it's good content. Alright. He's blind. He's got a lot of health. He's blind. He's not gonna see us, right, chat? Oh, okay.
Greetings. See you around.
Okay. I guess... I don't know. I don't know what's happening there, but we managed to pick up the quest without dying, so I'm happy about that. Let's go. We accidentally aggroed this guy, but that's fine. Yeah, we're alive. We can shadow bolt this guy once. I want some more souls. Surrender your soul. I was not. Damn it. I didn't ever use my. I was wondering why he was taking so little damage. Just because I didn't tell my pet to attack. Whatever. So let's go this way. We're looking for. Where do we even go for these quests? So this guy. Aeon. So this is one of the ones that I don't think we want to do, actually. Because, that's a whole pack. It's a pack of like 3 dudes on mounts. And I think they're all level 25. So it just says 1. It's like a level 25 quest, but I'm sure you got to be higher. Because we're just going to get our cheeks clapped if we try and do that. It looks like some of the stuff we have is down south here. So maybe we do this before we go to the other area. Over into Mulgore. Now, of course, we could look up an efficient leveling guide, but that's not any fun. I want to experience the game. And then we'll just drain soul. Okay, one more. I like to keep at least 3. Oh, we actually need 2 more because I need to make a Healthstone. Your Healthstone despawns after you log out. So it's important to make sure if you're a Warlock, you always make a new Healthstone when you log back in. So we need 2 more souls. Those are level 3. So I was gonna say, do those count? But they actually have a level and it's level 3. Can I just... Damn it. They got too far away. I don't feel like chasing them down to do that. I was gonna wipe out that... Oh, they stopped. They stopped moving. I'm gonna... maybe... do something. Oh, wait. The Kodo? That's level 19. We're good. Will this hit them or no? Oh, yeah. Perfect. Alright. So much for that herd of gazelle. We're just gonna get all this leather right here. Any idea on next Ren? Guilds are wiping, so could be a while. I mean, I didn't see a guild wipe, but maybe that was before we logged in. Alright, we just absolutely destroyed an entire herd of gazelle for unnecessary reasons. I mean, we wanted the leather, so I guess it's not unnecessary. We still are 1 short of our preferred 3 gems though. So let's go ahead and get that last gem. Because what that allows me to do with 2 gems, with 3 gems, is I get to summon a new summon. I get to create a new Hellstone and still have 1 gem left over. So right now, 3 gems is my preferred amount. So we are here. Oh, we should talk to a Chwaka. It's over here. I gotta capture one of those on my hunter. Oh, look at this. Oh. Is that what we're supposed to... No. Okay. I will absolutely slice up these corpses for personal monetary gain. I think we're gonna do that quest too, because I'm pretty sure that's what the quest we're going to pick up is called. So we're gonna kill the giant blue thunder lizard. Dude, someone left their own path of destruction here, and I'm about it. First of all, I'm a warlock, so I appreciate all paths of destruction. The more corpses, the better. Second of all, free leather. It's a priest. A level 22 priest that is leaving a path of destruction through the thunder lizards. And making us rich in the process. Not actually, because all this leather is actually going to cost us money, because we're going to send it to our... We're going to send it to our hunter, which is our leatherworking character. And they're going to use it to level up leatherworking, which right now costs money, because the dye we need to buy to get the next level thing. Also, it costs a lot of money. So basically, we end up... What is this? Okay. I guess we just need to kill that blue thunder lizard when it respawns, but it's dead right now. And rares can take a long time to respawn. So I don't really feel like waiting to see how long that's gonna be. Uh, 2232. When did they send that? Sure, why not? I have a bunch of random shit I want to drop off. How do I get to Wailing Caverns? It's really close, right? It's up there. Yeah. Okay, no worries. I didn't really want to do it anyways. But, I was gonna help them out. Was that a guild member? No, just a rando. That we're like, oh, we'll ask a random warlock to help us out, because warlocks are the best class and everybody knows it. No, I'm actually glad they're Phil, because I didn't want to do that. But there's also drops you can get from dungeons and stuff. And what? I can't skin prairie dogs? I guess I just killed that prairie dog for no reason then. Fair enough. But yeah, there's drops you can get from dungeons that are really good. Blue gear. I have a piece of blue gear, but it was an overland drop. Keller's Girdle. Stamina and intellect, which are the two primary stats you need as a warlock. Stamina is kind of more important because intellect primarily does sustain, I think. Increases mana points and chance to score critical... Oh, so it's also DPS, yeah. So that's the second reason why we want intellect. But stamina increases our health points. And we don't need the mana regeneration because we just sacrifice life for mana. So as long as we're not taking a bunch of damage, we can basically get infinite sustain. Where? Okay, it's down here. So we're looking for the Slithid Harvester. Now, I don't know if we could actually get all of these quests because, like, that Thunder Lizard, we might need to kill a specific mob or something. I don't want to fight both the Swarmer and the Creeper at the same time. We'll fight the Swarmer first because the Swarmer drops a whole bunch of swarms on us. And it's doing that now, so it's putting the swarms out. We're gonna drop our AoE. Otherwise, the swarms will obliterate our summon. Alright. That's why it gives us a warning for this Slithid Swarm. Because it's like, even though they're little level 1s or whatever, relatively individually small things you can one-shot. If you let that swarm get too big, it will delete people. And I'm sure that happens to people all the time. So it gives us a warning for it. The Creeper isn't that bad. It does have one ability that makes it kind of annoying, but I don't remember what it is. The one time I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, that's a little frustrating. But, it's not actually that bad. Do the same thing here. We're gonna get our dots up. Gonna do a little damage to main. And then once those swarms start popping up,
That spell isn't ready yet.
we're going to drop the AoE and clear them out. Also, the swarmers drop leather, but the other ones don't, for whatever reason.
It's still recharging.
Alright. We gotta kill two things if we go that way. We might not even need to kill anything if we go this way. Depends on if the swarm attacks us. So, oh, the swarm attacked us. Oops, we didn't get that on. We moved early. Alright, that thing's dead. Let's heal up the Void Walker while we're skinning this. Yeah, it looks like we need to wait for the specific Slithid spawn that drops the quests, because I don't see the Slithid we're looking for. Yeah, Slithid Harvester. If it were here, we'd have a rare spawn indicator. But it's not here. So let's go back the way we came. I think this is the way we came. We're not gonna clear that one, that's fine. Send the
That spell isn't ready yet.
Send the Void Walker to do his job. Take out those swarms before they kill him. Boom. Alright. I've accomplished nothing. Well, I turned in one quest. But other than that, I've just walked around and gathered leather so far. What's down there? Washtapani. So we're gonna check out Washtapani. See what that is. And then we'll head into the next area, if that's not something we can do here. I don't feel like hunting down these creature quests. If they were spawning, we would absolutely kill them and take them. But we just missed the Thunder Lizard one. And the Harvester isn't up. The Slithid. Who knows how long they're going to take to respawn. It's like often 45 minutes or something like that. I'm not gonna wait around for 45 minutes. Alright. There's another rare spawn up this way. Thunderstomp. He doesn't have a quest though. And unless he's wandering, he's not currently active because he probably would have triggered already. But it does look like there's a bunch of rare spawns down in this corner. Alright. Oh, is this lootable stuff? No. I mean, not lootable. Skinnable, but it's not. Washed Apani. This looks like another thing. Yep. It's another one of these specials. Probably that same priest that killed the other thing before we got there. This priest is just cucking us for their entire existence. Let's go to the next zone. Or they have a whole group. Actually, we shouldn't go... Well, we've got a quest to turn in here. Ooh. Where are you? These stalkers can be frustrating. Anything that's a stealth mob can be scary in this game. Not by themselves, generally, but it's when you're fighting something else and the stealth mob just appears out of nowhere and you're like, oh wait man, wait, don't kill me. That you're just screwed because you don't expect that to happen, and then you pull something, and then right as you pull it, you get the stealth mob on it, and you're like, "Oh man, that's I can do both, right? I can do. Oh no, this hurts." Why am I attacking that? That's a waste of time. I wanted the leather. I'm a leather fiend. We have a whole stack of leather already. We just should not worry about it. Not that it matters too much, because we still need a lot more leather. I think you need like 240 medium leather, and it takes something like... How many leather to make a full leather? We can't see on this character. This isn't our leather working character. We just do skinning. But... So there's two reasons we do skinning on this character. One is... It's, once we're done leveling the leatherworking character, a good money maker. And it's also offsetting the amount of money we need to spend on leatherworking. The other reason is that apparently at some point... Where is this servitor thing? Apparently at some point warlocks need... Hail.
Go in peace. Farewell.
Apparently at some point warlocks need dragon scales, and you get those through skinning, is what I read online at least. Alright. So we're going to ride the wave. No, I'm kidding. We're gonna ride the Wind Rider again.
Loktar,
back down here. I don't know if this is faster than walking back because we need to fly all the way down there, but I didn't feel like walking back. So this is how we're doing it. I probably should have banked some stuff. No, there's nothing really bankable. It's all to be sold or to mail. And we can do that here. Oh, we can't bank there anyways. Bank is ratchet. Alright. Oof, I'm sort of itchy. I need to practice self-control. Don't scratch your itches. Chat. I'm telling that more to myself than anyone, but if you're itchy, don't scratch it either. Dude's taking me on the scenic route. I forgot about this part where it goes so wide along the mountain. Alright. So now we need not the Ashenville, but we need the this one.
We shall meet again. Walk with the Earth Mother.
Anything else I need here? Doesn't look like it. So let's go into the next section. Would the Wind Rider take me there? I forget if there was a Wind Rider there. There it is. I love that noise.
Greetings.
I may or may not walk into the... There it is, okay. Oh, it's Thunderbluff directly. That's even better, because we have a quest to turn in Thunderbluff, and we can pick up all the Thunderbluff quests and then go into the surrounding area. We have a... I forget what I was going to say. Oof. Hmm. Hmm. I'm not tired. You're tired. Hmm. Northeastern Barrens. We already did that, but where do we turn it in is the question. Well, not here in Thunderbluff, that's for sure. Thunderbluff is really annoying because it's one of the only big towns you can fall off of and die. You know how, see how high it is? And there are other areas that are even higher. Like over here. Alright. So... Wait, weren't we supposed to come here to talk to Mayhu for whoever? Oh yeah, there it is. It's down there. Alright, cool. So... now that we're here... I need a minute. Alright. Oof. Hmm. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. I am absolutely starting to fade, and I don't want to get myself in trouble and get my character killed. So we're gonna call it a night, guys. I can't even type my commands. Guys, if you're new here, don't forget to drop a follow. If you want to see announcements whenever I go live or just join the community, there's the Discord. We have our raid link, our raid post message thing for subs, and there's the non-sub. I would appreciate it if you guys would stick around just for a moment while we raid out. My name is the Steel Drifter, and it's been a pleasure chilling with all of you tonight. Let's go show some love to the Astara, and I will be live again tomorrow. Peace.